Welcome to
Fika for Life!
My name is Edward Thomas, and my co-host is...
Lin. Hello.
Hey, Lynn. How are you?
I'm very good because I look at you and you look like the sun because you have a yellow shirt on.
What she's trying to say is that I'm fat. That's why I look like the sun. Because this room is not big enough for me. It's not big enough for my glory, at least.
Yeah,
And my
glory,
ego.
isn't the glory on your head?
No. I exude light all over me.
So you're a light bulb.
Oh, you can say that. All you have to do is plug me in.
Wow.
That's all I need is a little electricity, and I shine like the sun.
Let's shine light like a
I'm
diamond.
very shiny.
Okay, let's move on.
Wow, we're supposed to talk about something again today. Thank you for the donuts.
Thanks.
It was really good.
Yeah, and the grapes.
Yeah, and the grapes, too. I forgot about the grapes. The donuts was like fika. The grapes are like vitamins. I mean,
Vitamins. Whatever the donuts don't have.
Exactly, the grapes have. Exactly. So, I mean, it was balanced.
So it's basically a meal.
Wow, look at that. I've never felt so healthy in my life. I feel like the clotting of my veins have just become lessened.
Listen, because of the grapes.
Yeah, like a half a millimeter or so.
That's pretty big.
Is that
half a millimeter for your arteries and stuff.
Is that really big?
Yeah.
I'm sure I got blood flow then. Woo!
Now I can make it another decade. Woo!
Well, let's not go that far.
Okay.
I don't want people to think you're a false prophet. When I die tomorrow, I'll just drop dead.
Well, I didn't say it was a prophecy.
Well, it sounded like
it's not
one.
official.
It sounded like one.
Okay. So
what are we going to talk about today?
Well, you said it. You talked, or I suggested to you to talk with the people we were talking at Fika at our church, and they suggested we should talk about judging.
Well, actually, they wanted me to talk about. No, okay, I won't say. I was going to say it's really strange, but
so
like
was it judging people or
judgy people?
Judgy people.
Yeah, so people who judge other people, or it could be how do we judge other people? I forgot how.
And we became judgy.
We should be judgy because we know everyone else's faults, so we can tell them about it so they can change and become better people.
Well, we can first start with maybe.
I can ask you
people
a
question. People who judge, and then
we'll
we
can
see how
judge
far
the judgy people.
Yeah, that's what I'm
okay.
saying.
So, Lynn, do you like judgy people?
No, I don't like judgy people, but I believe that everyone is judging everyone.
Everyone should be judged by you.
I definitely judge everyone. I just don't
do.
tell them. Why would I?
Wow.
If they don't ask me, why would I tell them?
So when you go past me and you hold your nose, is that like a judgment?
Why would I hold my nose?
Because you think I stink.
Well, I would just turn my head. Why would I have to? I mean.
Wow.
No, actually,
she turns her head for me all the time.
But you know how I am. If you would be smelly, I would tell you that you are smelly.
I know you would. Right to my face, you'd be like, "Yo, boy, you stink."
Yeah, boy, you should go take a shower.
You smell like death warmed over. I'd be like, "Oh, I have a gland problem."
But what about?
I don't know if glands can make you stink. I just said that.
It's not the glands; it's the bacteria who are living off your sweat.
So it's a bacteria living off my glands.
Yeah.
They crawl into my skin.
And that's why what stinky is like bacteria poop or bacteria farts. That's why.
Really?
Yeah. So fresh sweat doesn't smell because the bacteria haven't had time to digest it.
I play basketball, and after 5 minutes, that fresh sweat, oh my God, it gets into my clothes.
But it's because your skin already has a lot of...
No, I think those people are stinky.
Anyway, moving on. Why are you so judgmental?
Exactly. That's what I was trying
so judgy.
I know. You finally caught on. I was like trying to give you hints. You're so slow today. Okay.
Sorry, it's the donuts.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. We have sugar coma right now. We can't think as well.
It's the donuts. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So how do you identify a judgy person? How do you know they're judgy? Let's say the nonverbal part first.
Anyone who looks at me and doesn't smile is judgy.
Really?
Well, I mean, because I figure I'm the definition of everything that's good. Okay, I guess okay. No, I think that I don't know how people look at people judgy.
You don't?
No,
you have never gotten a judgmental look.
No, I think I probably have. I just don't know what it is.
You know my daughter, the way she looks at you sometimes. That's a judgy look.
Is that?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you didn't give her vitamins for the day or something.
That's a judgy look.
That's because she's copying her mother. But no, but I think that I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of a judgy look.
Or also this one.
Okay, that's judgy.
So the eye down to your foot, up your whole body, and down
like, the
again,
mouth and then like pushed together.
Yeah. That you see, that's a
pout, like Okay, so that's a judgy look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you ever look at people when they look at you?
No, I tend to look at their throats.
If they have
No, I'm just afraid of people's lips. So I look at their throats so I don't get terrified.
What's wrong with you, Ed? I will never bring you donuts again.
I know. What was in that donut?
I don't know. I bought it from Willie's.
Really I feel really like, ooh, groovy, man.
Okay, so this is how you identify someone who is
Yeah, I mean,
judgy.
I usually identify people who are judgy because sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So,
but that's just the nonverbal. They haven't even opened their eyes.
It's because I'm teaching at a school.
Yeah.
And so I think that all the young girls always look like they're always angry.
Oh, that's just a bitch face. A resting bitch face.
No, but there's two girls. Oh my gosh.
Now he's judgy.
The way they look at you. Like
they judge you.
Oh my gosh. There's one girl I'm like, you shouldn't look at people like that. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just look like you're ready to kill them. Like they're going to die any second just from that stare. Like, look happy or something. What's wrong with you?
Why did you can't tell her that? You're basically telling her your face is wrong.
No, she has. She's got the look.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So these two, but one of them is like really. I mean, I'm like, how can a look? Okay, but anyway, I guess that's the whole thing with being judgy. So some people feel that you can judge people just by the look. I'm like, whatever. Some people just look like they judge you. They don't even judge you. They just have a judgy face.
Yeah. Okay. And then they start to open their mouths.
Yeah, and then that's the
I think there are two things then when they open their mouths. Either it's what they say that's judgy, or how they say it, or both. They like how they say it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what they like, the content of what they're saying is not a problem. It's how they say it.
So when you come to me and say, well, Ed, I mean, that was kind of like a really good sermon. Judge.
Yeah.
Or when you come to me
it was okay.
But that's not judgy.
It's pretty judgy. Because you're saying, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like going up. The voice not going, oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but maybe it's because, like, maybe this was one of my sermons I bombed out, because I don't always hit 10s. I only hit 10s, like, 90% of the time.
Because you are in the dictatorship. You can't have 100% saying yes.
And that was
99.
judgy right there. You heard that? That was a total judgy raspberry. Oh, my gosh. I feel the judgment on me now. I feel condemned.
Okay.
Lynn, you condemned me.
Yeah, I told you I judge people all the time.
Know. But I never thought you judged me. I thought you judged all those other people. They need to be judged.
So as Christians...
Oh, no, don't go there because we shouldn't be judgy.
we should not be judgy because...
Well, that's not true. We should be judging.
Okay, but tell me.
Okay, so from a biblical perspective...
Doesn't the Bible say like you shouldn't judge because with the measurement you're judging, God's going to judge you, and then you're screwed.
What is that like?
Just paraphrasing.
You sound like an Italian American weirdo.
Excuse me, it's the donut. Stop judging me. Stop judging me. Okay, tell me from the Bible.
Wow. Okay. So the Bible says, Jesus says this. He says with the like you said, the way that we judge other people, God's going to then judge us that way. Mm-hmm. So he judges us
harshly
with the same measurement that we judge other people. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other verse that says, Jesus says, don't judge, otherwise you're going to be judged. Mm-hmm. And then that's where everyone stops. But what he continues on, he says that don't try to take the dust particle out of your brother's eye when you've got a whole tree growing on the side of your eye.
It's a log
he says,
and a speck.
First, take the tree out of your eye. Then you can see clearly, so you can take the dust out of your brother's eye. So it's not that we can never judge. It's just that judging has to be proportional in relationship to the fact that we first, like when I point my finger at you, there's a finger pointing at me.
Yeah, and you better make sure the finger at you is...
These fingers are pointing at me. When I point my finger at you, there's always more fingers pointing at... Yeah, okay, something like that. I'm not really
Except
good at
you're judging. with the flat hand.
I've got them all pointed at you because there's nothing wrong with me. Yeah, but then...
So you're supposed to judge, but in which way? I mean, what does judging mean, actually?
I don't know, because I feel like I give everybody slack. I never judge people. Okay, even I just did that like maybe 10 times since the beginning of this podcast. Man, but
I mean, like in a let's say the word judging. I mean, judging means that you're discerning something from right and wrong.
Well, it comes from the Greek word krino. Krino means I just happen to know this for some reason. It comes from the Greek word krino, which means to judge. Like you're almost like in the sense of in a court case.
Yeah.
So you're trying to determine who's guilty or not guilty.
Yeah.
And here we are in a situation where I think people have become so sensitive nowadays. So everyone expects that if I say something, whether it's wrong or right, you shouldn't question it. You should just accept it. Exactly. Yeah. And then people say, don't judge me. Or the sense
Miley Cyrus says, only God can judge me.
I'm doing something wrong and you're correcting me. And I'm saying, but look at you.
You're hateful.
Yeah, you're not perfect either. Don't judge me. And that's a whole defensive mechanism. So and there's an aspect of where judgment is good, but it's sort of like positive criticism. Isn't
that called constructive criticism?
Oh yeah, maybe it's called constructive.
That was not judgy. That was just improving.
That was judgy. And so and I think that when we're looking at the fact that sometimes we can say things, we're pointing out things that could be better, so the person can be better. But
instead of just pointing out the negative and just leave them.
Yeah, so judgy things would be, and this is what people do. They often feel when they see someone else doing something they feel is wrong, especially something that they themselves don't do, then they feel justified in saying, oh, you did this is wrong, you're such a bad person. And all of a sudden there's all these other things that come along with it. And then usually what those people who judge you don't do is that they don't come up with any solutions. They never say, oh, well, okay, listen. If this is something that's really, affecting you in a bad way or making you make bad decisions, maybe we could do something about it. We can change the way we do stuff so you don't get in that situation.
So if we go from a Christian perspective, I mean, Christian people always like to judge, especially other people who are maybe having sex outside of marriage.
No, that's not judgy.
But that's perceived judgy. How is that a difference?
Okay.
And that's what, I mean, I ask you how is that different?
These grapes, I'm munching in your ear. Not your ear, but our listeners' ear.
Okay, how would you say? Because for me, I would say, I think it's always the way how you say it. It's not about what exactly it is. It's about how. Yeah.
Well, having sex outside of marriage is called fornication.
And God hates it.
See, okay.
Wow. Sorry.
I can never give any examples when Lynn's around. She just...
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, but...
Yeah?
I think if we developed relationships where we can speak the truth to each other, then I think that we would be better off. And so we would learn to share things in a truthful kind of way. And no one would be like, feel like, oh, you're judging me. Because right now, if to disagree with someone, it's the same thing as being judgy. If I do something or say something, you disagree with me, or you're judging me. One day I said something, I was at a meeting and I said something and the person said, oh, I feel like you're judging me. And I was like, what? Like there was like no intent for me to judge the person.
No.
But they reacted that way because they were feeling very hypersensitive.
They confused judging and giving facts or what?
Yeah, I mean,
they got offended by what you
said. They got offended by what I said because they felt like I think I said something like, "No, that's not the way that we agreed to do it." Oh. I feel like you're always hopping on me. You're always jumping on me. You're always judging me. I'm like,
that has nothing to do with judgment.
Judgment. We made a decision, and you're not sticking to the decision. That's not judgment. That's just calling, what it is.
Calling you out. If you would transform this situation, how would it be judgy? To have like a contrast.
If I would have said like, whenever it's time for me to come and meet you, I always do it the right way. but you always do it the wrong way. You don't really listen to what we have to say, blah, blah, blah. It becomes almost to the level of being a personal attack.
Yeah.
So because I'm comparing myself. I'm better than you. I do it the right way. You do it the wrong way. And therefore, because I do it the right way, it gives me the right to tell you how you're doing it the wrong way. That's where the judgy thing comes in.
Like moral high ground.
Yeah.
I'm better than you, so that's why I can tell you.
Yeah, because I can take the moral high ground because I feel like morally I'm above where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it could be something simple like so one day we had someone preaching at church and they didn't dress up.
Okay.
And someone came to me and says, "Oh, Ed, since you're the pastor here, I want to tell you that I think everyone who preaches should dress up and everything like that." I'm like, "Nah, I don't think so." And the person's like, "Yeah, but they have to."
Why?
But why do they have to?
Yeah.
Well, because they're standing in front of the congregation. It's in God's house. We have to give our best to God. I'm like, really? And what does that say in the Bible or whatever?
And who is saying what is the best?
Yeah. Well, and it's from that person's perspective, you should be all dressed up and you should wear really nice clothes and stuff like that. And I felt like it was being judgy because the person wasn't really looking to see, well, was the person a good meeting leader?
Yeah.
Or did they say things that were untrue?
Yeah.
The person only saw the way they were dressed. And because they weren't dressed in the way that person thought they should be dressed, then that was a judgment. And I think that's that thing, that judgy kind of thing that comes out where people feel like my way
is the only
way or the most correct way.
Yeah.
And when you don't do it my way, then I need to correct you.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah. And then there's times where, and it happens a lot in Sweden because, I'm an immigrant. I have an accent. And it's just some sounds I just can't. Judgy? That was judgy. Because was that really like building me up? No, it's just tearing me down, Lynn.
I just wanted to tell people the truth.
Yeah, well, you have an accent too.
Yeah, but people never can tell that I'm not from here either way.
Yes, I can tell.
No, but Swedish people don't.
You sound German.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. But I just have to say that.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
I have to get you back.
Sorry. Yeah, so you have an accent and people judge you for it?
Yes. And so what happens is a lot of times people are like, just say it like this.
Who?
I'm like, students.
Uh-huh.
People at church. A lot of church people do that. And I go, well.
What?
Okay, so I was trying to say, what was it? Because, okay, so
what?
The letter G.
Yeah.
When I say the letter G, I say gay. And then everyone goes, it's not like you're saying gay. I'm like, because that's what you're saying. No, we don't say gay. We say gay. Yeah. I'm like, that's gay.
What context was that?
Well, like I teach music.
Aha.
So
you read the letter
G.
Like the key or
the key, the notes, whatever.
G.
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't say gay, you say gay.
And I'm like,
and they got caught up on that.
Yeah. So they spent the whole lecture trying to tell me how to say the letter correctly. I'm like, listen, I'm an immigrant. I was old when I got here. That's just the way it sounds. Get over it. I'm not talking about being gay like homosexual. I'm talking about the letter G. Yeah. Gay. Okay. And they're like, you can't just say it that way. I'm like, yes, I can. I've been saying it for 30 years now. I'm like, it's all they say they AF gay.
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 And then you say gay.
But I'm not saying like gay. I'm saying gay. Gay.
Okay, so that's judgy of them. But they try to improve you though, and they even helped you.
No, they don't.
They try to help you to say it.
And they know
better.
I can't say it. It's like everyone's like, just roll your R. I'm like, what?
Those kids are so funny.
My tongue doesn't work that way. Just roll your R.
Okay. So
it
was judgy because they set you up to fail?
No, I don't know if it was judgy or not. But because they feel like, but it's so easy. Just say it like us. And that becomes judgy when people don't understand that maybe you can't say it that way.
Yeah, you should.
And because they're only going from their perspective, what they can do, then they think everyone can do it their way because the way they do it is best. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, basically, you know what I'm saying. I write it on the board. It's not like you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. You're just trying to take a situation and you're trying to make it into something big when it isn't. Yeah. And that kind of, it is kind of judgy then in that aspect of trying to make a point or trying to necessarily put someone into, oh, here's the teacher. And I can say the teacher did something wrong, da-da-da. I'm like,
I can make them look bad.
It's not even important.
No.
It's like really unimportant. But that's one of those things. Or it could be something like.
But would you say that you are sensitive to be?
Oh, yeah. That's why I hate everybody.
You're sensitive to being judged?
I don't know. Because okay, this is going to sound really bad. I just don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care what people think about me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like
if they think, oh, he's this black guy, he's probably a drug addict and
okay,
a thug.
Okay, that's different. That's judging me.
That's judging you.
That's judging me by the color of my skin and then making assumptions because of that.
Yeah,
that's like prejudice, probably racist.
Racist.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think that it would be something like maybe someone. So here's because I joke a lot. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have accused me of not being serious about my faith. I'm like, but my jokes are not.
Faith related.
I'm not like, oh yeah, I believe in Jesus, kind of. I would. I'm like, that's not even funny. Come on. And I think that because I don't wear suits and ties.
You should. People will take you more serious.
I know, but that's because I don't really care.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm sure that if I were to dress that way, if I always had a suit and tie on, and if I never told jokes, and I always acted super holy and super serious, like people think a Christian person is supposed to act, then people would probably take me more serious.
Yeah, but don't you want that?
No, because that's being fake. They would take me serious by presenting an image of myself who is not really the real me.
Well, but you would only do it in church. I mean, you wouldn't tell people this.
Yeah, so in church, I should have a double life, a fake life in church.
No, it's not.
That's
a
what
fake
you say.
life. You just dress up for Sundays, because that's this person who complained about. Oh, I think when you preach, you have to dress up.
No, not do that.
No, okay.
No,
okay.
Let them hate me. But and I think that's the thing because I don't need people to affirm me. I don't need people to approve of me. Mm-hmm. God will do that. And so I feel like I don't care.
But then some people would argue, but don't you want people to judge you good? Like judge the church from you? Wow. Like they meet you and they see you as the representative of the church you are leading?
I am just a servant in that church.
But people might not perceive it. People might not see it that way.
I can't be bothered by people's... I can't be bothered by what people might think about me. I mean, some people are like that. Mm-hmm. Some people really care. Yeah. And then what happens is that when people judge them, they get really affected. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, people don't like me. This person said that. And sometimes you catch me on the right day. I'm open. I'm sensitive. You told me once, you said, Ed, no one gets anything out of your preaching. And then I stopped preaching for half a year.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you say all kinds. You say stuff you don't even know what you're saying.
No, exactly. So why would you take me serious?
I take everything you say seriously. Oh my gosh! If you talk in your sleep, I'm like, Lynn said something. Let me take notes. No, so I think that. I mean, have you ever been judged?
Of course.
About what?
I am a second generation immigrant in Germany. I'm a first generation immigrant in Sweden. I've been an immigrant my whole life. So
really, I've never been an immigrant. I've always felt Swedish since the day I was born.
No, but you didn't grow up as a minority citizen.
Yeah.
No, just because you're black. But
yeah.
But you grew up in the black community.
No,
Asian community.
I grew up outside of Chinatown. In the black community. Yeah, because there's all these black people in Asia. No.
Anyway,
really.
But I mean, I've always been judged, and my parents always told me my parents said you will always be judged more harshly than all the other German people out there.
Why?
Because I'm Asian, because I'm not like them, and they expect me to fail.
Don't yell at me, lady. I'm so sorry. Don't
they
judge
expect me. No, but I mean,
wait,
that is good.
There's a country where people expect Asians to fail. Wow.
Maybe not to fail, but they don't want me to succeed. Let's say it like this.
They want you to fail then, yes.
Yeah, they don't want me to succeed better than them. Let's say it like this.
Really? Is that how it is in Germany?
Not all of them, but that's what my parents told me when I was a child, which means that it gave me the right mindset of like, don't be a victim. Like if things happen to you, don't be a victim. Like
I'm a victim every day.
But I think
somebody stands in front of me in the line in the store. I'm like, You're just not like because I'm an immigrant.
But I mean that's a good thing though that my parents told me. Then it set me up to succeed instead, like to see my potential and to see that I can succeed. I'm not a victim of my circumstances.
Okay.
Don't ever be a victim of your circumstance. Just tell your people.
I'm a victim. Okay. But if you,
I mean, I've been judged for being Asian.
have you been judged by other people, like other Vietnamese people?
Yeah.
For not being Vietnamese enough?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You want me to slap them for you?
No, they're just like, yeah, but you're not really, you like, or like even people.
No, you're not. I know because I always thought you're not really Vietnamese because you're black, but we understand that. But
I mean, when I used to be in Germany and people would ask me, oh, so where do you come from? I'm like, yeah, from this town in Germany, and they're like, no, but where are you really from? It sounds also like judgmental.
It is judgmental.
But I know that I know what they want. I know what they want to know. But it's like discarding what you're saying is not true. Like, but where you really from?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I always want to say your mother.
From the human race.
Just call me brother.
No, but I mean, I think I'm very sensitive for people judging me unjustly. Like for something it wasn't me, but they would judge me for it. And assign whatever happened to me. I'm really sensitive for that.
What about what kind of a mother you are?
Oh, depends on the person. If it's a person who's sincere, not really judgy, but who's sincere and says, I think this doesn't look good. Maybe you should work on it. But if it's someone, I feel like, girl, I think you should. What sweep before your house first, your door. Sweep before your door first. Like take out the lock on your eye first, and then you can come and poke in mine. I'm really sensitive. I'm like, really? I'm not playing this game.
So someone, you should see her head rocking. Oh my gosh, Sister Lynn is. Her ghetto is coming out. She's like, I'm not taking it. I'm like, ooh, man, we about to get down here. I gotta find me somebody to fight with Sister Lynn.
Oh gosh.
If people just know.
But all the black people we have, the women, they're all civil. I can't see them being savage.
Just wait. It's gonna come out one day. Say something about their children. Your child look like a dog. Oh, I know you didn't go there. Talk about my dog. I mean, my child.
See?
Come here, fight on.
Okay, did you have another question?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was the same thing about being like if someone came up to you and said, Lynn, I think you're a really bad mom.
No, say why?
No, you won't.
No, but
you're gonna shoot them.
No, I would really like, as I told you, like if someone, I don't know, it depends on what you're saying.
Okay, if I'm preaching on Sunday, and I say, there's good mothers in cross culture and there are bad mothers. Lynn is a really bad mom.
I couldn't take you serious. Sorry.
Man, I wanted to see you cry.
But I wouldn't cry for that, though.
Really?
No. Because I'm quite secure in myself. Okay. I mean, I do mistakes all the time, and I realize, that was not good.
I never see you do any mistakes as a mom. I thought you were perfect. Okay, except for the time that you left your children on the train and the train took off and went to England.
No, but
you didn't notice that they were gone for 3 days.
Yeah, that never happened. Don't call social services on me. And it's just lying.
I can't believe this podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, people, could you just get a? We're joking, okay?
Yeah, he's joking. That never happened. No, but I mean, most of the time, I feel like people who are sane would never say something like that. They would approach it totally different. And people who would approach it like that, I'm like, I can't even take you serious because either you don't even have kids, or your kids are a mess also, or your kids are a mess anyway. So I'm like,
wow.
I don't know.
It back. Your kids are a mess. Don't talk about mine.
Yeah, basically like that.
But are there other things that you're sensitive about being judged about? Like, okay, so you said when other Asian people say you're not Vietnamese enough, does that bother you?
Not really. I just don't want to have a discussion about that because most people who say that, they don't know the complexity of my life.
No.
So
none of us know it. I mean, we can't even understand it. We tried to do a mathematical formula, and the supercomputer died. It's like, no, don't give me this crap. Just like
I'm like, I don't care.
Okay, but what if
maybe if people would tell me, "Oh, Lynn, you're so fat," because that's how I grew up with. And when I grew up, I was not fat.
I know. You used to look good.
Thanks, Ed. Nice judge.
You see how you just slip that judgment right in there.
I just feel like, I mean, what our friend Ming Lu, he told me like, Lynn, you should lose weight. You know, you're too big. But that was when we were newly friends, and I knew that in the Asian culture, it's like no biggie. It's like small talk to tell people if you're too thin or too thick or too fat or whatever. It's like small talk, you know.
In Sweden, we talk about the weather, and in Asian culture, we talk about
how fat or how skinny people are.
Do you know that you're fatter this week than you were last week?
They're like,
oh, thank you for telling me.
The thing is like, oh, if you lost weight or you're thin, like, oh, you're so skinny, you should eat more. Are you okay? Are you sick?
Yeah.
If you're too fat, like, oh, you gained a lot of weight. It's not good. You should lose weight. It's not good for your health. So it's like
you're never
right.
okay. No, I know.
You're never okay. So that's
always hear, you're so skinny. You should eat more. I'm like, what? Lady, you just gave me 5 bowls of stir-fried food and chop suey and everything. Come on, stop.
So I think that is something I'm sensitive to, in the sense of if people say it to me too often. Okay. I mean, that's why I never go to people and tell them like, oh, you should lose weight, blah, blah, because I know that a lot of people have told them already, and they probably know that they are too fat or too skinny. I don't think they need to hear it from me.
Is that why you stopped wearing bikinis to church?
Church. I think I stopped wearing bikinis a long time ago.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you were still wearing them to church. Sorry. So,
I'm like, never to church either. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, never. What about you? Do you have anything that...
No, because I think I'm perfect.
Okay.
I'm the gift to the world. Okay.
But you said you're really sensitive to when people tell you...
Shh, don't tell me secrets.
You should, your preaching so bad. No one gets anything
out of it. You know why?
Or no one likes you, and no one likes you.
Okay, if 3 people came up to me and said, you know, Ed, everyone hates you, I'll start to believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is this so little self inside?
No, because 3 people saying it, it's got to be true.
Yeah,
Bible says 2 or 3 people. Okay, no, but it's I think if it's 3 people, not 3 other crazy people, but 3.
Now you're judging again. Who is crazy in your eyes?
Oh, there's a list, a long list. Okay, but I think I'm more sensitive to like when black people think I'm not black enough.
Oh, it's this identity thing.
Well, it just bothers me that people think so short-sighted. I know.
There is not one way to be black. Is it? But then you're not black.
Shut up! Oh my! Did you hear the judgy people? Judgment. I'm surrounded by judgment, even though I haven't judged Lynn at all this whole time. Well, a couple of times, but she deserved it. So I think the whole black thing, or I think that like.
But isn't that also a childhood trauma? Because when you were younger, people would tell you were not.
People used to put a sign on me. He really is black. No,
but you said they called you Oreo, and stuff like that. And they felt like you weren't black enough because you were not behaving a certain way.
I think that. So I think that's the one thing I might be sensitive to, and I think that my preaching and stuff, because I don't really. I mean, every person who preaches wants their sermon to land and wants their sermon to be filled with the power of God, you know, but I think I was more sensitive earlier on than I am now, because I realized that
some people just Google.
I'm just, different strokes for different folks, I'm just like, I can't be your everything. But I think that, especially in the very beginning when I first started working as a priest, then I thought that it was really
discouraging.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it was after my first sermon after being ordained.
Oh, wow.
And this person wrote and said that your immigrant Swedish isn't good enough. You need to learn to be Swedish better. And that really bothered me for a long time. And I felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say anything in the church because then people are going to judge me because I'm an immigrant. Like, they didn't know. I'm like, duh. It's kind of like hard to not miss it. I'm like, okay, whatever.
You're one of the maximum 10 Swedish people.
I know. I'm the only black priest in our diocese for like the first 10 years after ordination. And I'm like, that just said something. But anyway, now we're 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I think I used to be more sensitive about my big Afro booty.
You used to be.
Yeah,
which
because I
means
hung
you're
out
not
with
anymore.
Asians. And they all had like flat butts.
They had no butts. You mean they had no butts?
I know. I was going to say it was concave, but I don't want to be mean and judgy here. And everyone's always like, "God, you have such a big booty." And I was like, yes, I know. Stop staring. Haters. Okay. So, and then I always had really big feet. Because I have really flat feet.
Yeah, you're like my brother.
And my feet have grown. When I moved to Sweden, I wore a 43.
Yeah.
And now I'm a 47.
What?
Yeah, they just keep growing.
But you also gain weight.
I have never gained weight in my life. Don't judge me. Look at you.
Judging. It's just an explanation
You used to have baby fat on you.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to hit me. Don't hit me then.
No, but I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to explain it. I'm not judging you. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's an explanation.
Okay, if you think Lynn is judging me, please write to us. We need to have lots of people that back me up and tell her she's judging me so then I can throw stones at her.
Okay, so this is where we are now as a Christian.
Yes.
So if you judge
I want to show you
people-
love with my stones.
Okay.
Yeah, but now I'm not really sensitive about those things anymore.
Okay.
So that's that.
Thank you, people.
Thank you for
Telling us.
for everyone that gave us this idea to talk about judgy people. I don't know if you got any smarter about that or not, but
They got to know what we are sensitive about, so don't judge us about those things.
don't judge us. You do that, I'm going to punch you.
You can judge about all the other things, but about the things that we mentioned, don't.
Yeah.
So
And
point.
And if you find out that if people are reacting to you, ask people. If you want to know if you're judgy, you should just ask people and they'll tell you. And then if you find out that you're judgy, then try to figure out, okay, if I'm going to come with criticism, I should come with a solution.
Yeah.
I should be willing to step up or help the person or
Improve.
or do something in order to help their situation. Otherwise, maybe, even if I know I'm right, maybe sometimes I don't need to always say
Yeah.
that I'm right.
Especially if they don't ask you. You don't have to.
Well, yeah, that's when you
Just
really
tell
are supposed to tell them. So. Love it when people stick their nose into your business. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even talking to you.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
She's trying to say that we've been talking long enough and it's time to go. Okay, fine, Lynn. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And bye for now.
Bye for now.
See you.
Thank you for listening. If you have any comments or ideas, please send us a message to fikaforlife@mail.com. Fika, F-I-K-A. This was the Fika for Life podcast with Linh and Edward Thomas, and we hope to hear you again.